second time because I'm a dummy and I didn't plug the microphones into the camera last time. So we have like 2 hours of conversation.
Yeah,
It
2 hours of conversation.
And the audio was bad on it. So this is take 2, but we're going to talk a little bit about your testimony. This is Barbara Robertson, right?
Yep.
Okay. I got that right.
Got that right.
So we're going to talk about your testimony and your journey through your teenage, adult years and going back and forth.
Continuation.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you know.
So your starting point is 1982. That was your year?
Like 82, 83. It all started out with a pot.
Started smoking pot.
Drinking shots at school, you know.
And you were a sophomore in high school in 82? Do the math?
Yep. Yep. That's where the drugs came into play. Yeah.
What kind of started that? Just friends? Or?
Just friends. Everybody else was doing it, so, you know, curious girls wanted to try it too.
Yeah.
So go to Six Flags and on the Sky Ride, let's smoke some pot. Yeah.
Haven't done that before.
Yeah, that's what we did. And then it turned into, you know, the boys bringing shots to school and their moms. Spice bottles. So we'd hit the locker in between classes and do some shots and, you know, people, places, and things. You friends are doing it, and then you hold off for a while, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'll try it. And then it turned into cocaine.
It's a big leap.
Yeah, and that was in 85. You know, the weekend drinking, hanging out, bonfires, that kind of thing.
I know we talked last time, but you were kind of a fan of just being awake and alert.
Yeah.
And those type of drugs.
Getting things done.
Yeah,
yeah.
What do they call those? I don't even know the name for it. I know it's a class of drugs, but
yeah, I don't know.
But
Just
the uppers, I guess.
Yeah, the up things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm a fan of going to bed by 10, getting up at sunrise, coming to church. Yeah.
Watering the lawn.
Yeah, life is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had some real bad years. Bad years.
Man, walk through them. Tell your story.
In 87, I moved to Mississippi. Then it was ecstasy, mushrooms, acid. Tried them all one time down there. Never tried them again till I was in my late 40s.
It's not the time to be experimenting with drugs.
Yeah, I know, right? It was, I don't know what it was.
Just waking up in the mornings, like a new adventure every day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, but I moved back to New Jersey in 89. No, 80. Yeah, 89. What am I saying? Got married in 91.
And you're from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Originally?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about Jersey?
Leaving.
Leaving? Nothing good going on there?
Just my kids, 2 of them.
Bruce Springsteen came from there, right?
A lot of famous people came out of Jersey, yeah. Pork roll. Did you ever have pork roll?
No.
Oh, it's a breakfast meat. My brother's coming in a couple weeks. He brings down 6 pounds in a roll.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll make sure I send some with Mandy for you.
That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah. But no, I had a lot of good clean time when I got married and had babies and all that, and started going to the Catholic Church, baptized, communion, confirmation there.
You feel any connection with God?
Not with the Catholic Church, no. The only thing I learned there, I learned a lot about myself, but here, like night and day.
A little different.
A lot different.
When you say you learned a lot about yourself, what do you mean?
Just having an interest in God. I don't know. Catholic Church just wasn't for me. And my kids were all baptized Catholic, but I don't know. That's kind of like, they don't teach like here. Like here, it's, you know, God's a loving Father.
Right.
There it was like, oh, you better, your students, Hail Marys, this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, I never understood. I've never been part of the religion, so I don't want to be like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
It's just odd to me that it's like there's prayers to different, like, saints and things like that. And it's just,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good connection with it, but I did it because my ex-husband was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school, wanted our kids to go to Catholic school, but there was like one nun in the whole school, and I couldn't see paying all that kind of money for not really nuns teaching them. But I don't know. There's
Yeah.
a connection here. There's a strong connection here.
That's a good thing.
Absolutely. It's like life-saving. Seriously, it is. But yeah, then I had a downfall back in 2006. Again, me and the cocaine.
Went back to it.
Yeah, it got me bad then to where I was hiding it. I was messing up the house finances, lost a house, marriage went down, ended up in rehab in 2008. But thank God for moms. Thank God for moms.
If I remember correctly, you basically put yourself there, right?
Oh yeah, I just busted out that big old thick paper phone book and looked up in 800.
The yellow pages.
Yeah, went in the yellow pages right in the front of the phone book. I mean, I know there's not phone books out there anymore, but that's how I found my interventionist. I just called and basically dropped a dime on myself and said, I need help.
That's a tough thing to do.
I had to.
Yeah.
I couldn't get 4 days clean. Like that third day, I'm like, okay, one more day. It's
You're
gonna be a good day.
trying, just
and then
yeah.
I don't even want to say, but my ex-husband would say something. I'm like, oh, and I'd just go use again. Not an excuse, but that's true life. That's what it was.
Yeah, a little stress and.
Oh, stress work. He worked days, I worked nights, and just trying to 3 kids and work nights and only sleeping 4 hours a day. It was like my crutch. And I told you last time, if I was doing something at night, I made sure I saved something for the morning to get me going.
Yeah. Got a little routine going and.
Yeah, it was a bad routine. I don't never ever recommend that. No, there's always help, always. But my mom was the first person I called after the interventionist, and I kind of just let it all out. And she's like, I knew something was going on. I said, well, why didn't you say something?
It's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, but you know.
Can't put your finger on it. You don't just come out and be like, are you on drugs? What's going on?
You know what? I think sometimes the direct approach, not like beating around the bush about it, because when someone's because I had somebody down here beat around the bush about it, and I'm not going to come out and tell you my stuff because I know you're already judging me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you come with the facts, hey, 100%, I know you're doing this. You, more or less, you're back against the wall. You'll probably spill your business. But to beat around the bush about it,
Now
it's just like a dance.
They say a lot of times with like addicts, and I know you were mainly a user. I didn't kind of get the vibe from you that you were like physically addicted, or well, I guess you were because you couldn't stay off of it for more than.
Well, no, I had a lot of clean time, but yeah, when I was actively using, yeah, it was.
Is there like a lot of lying and stuff that kind of goes along with that, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying to hide your using, so you know what I mean. You're like, yeah.
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 I'm trying to make that connection with you said your mom, like she probably didn't want to say anything because probably just be like,
I told her, I said to my mom after that, I said, look, if this ever happens, if you think something's not right, call me out on my BS. Just call me out on it.
Good.
You know.
Has she had to?
No.
Nah.
No, but I did relapse again after that. It's not even fun. It's not funny. But yeah. In 2008, I went to rehab. We lost our house. I moved in with my ex-mother-in-law, and then we got another house and got divorced in 2016. I had neck surgery in 2012. So you know pain pills are involved there.
Oh, yeah.
But they said, oh yeah, you'll be out of work for 6 to 8 weeks. It was 6 months I was out of work for. And then when I went back to work, I couldn't do my job physically, so I got let go. And the whole pain pill deal, that was a whole different thing.
You think that was an addiction, or was it?
No. That I don't, not at all. But I see where people, I don't think everybody gets addicted to things they try, because the last time we spoke, I told you, like in 2010, I tried crack with a relative, and I'm like, I don't understand. I told you about the bell ringing thing. I'm like, I don't understand this. And that's God's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know God had a hand in that and be like, you got your hands full with one thing. No. But
keep adding.
I don't think all drugs affect everybody the same way. And that's just from
Yeah.
my point of view, being around people that use different drugs. I don't. But then again, they say, oh yeah, pot, whatever. I also know somebody, now I never thought, how could you get addicted to pot? But I know somebody personally that was addicted to pot, went to treatment for pot, that tried killing himself 12 times.
That's just pot.
Just pot.
Wow.
Like, you tried killing yourself 12 times, you're still here.
Something going on.
God's got a plan for you. You need to figure out what it is, sit and, you know what I mean? And figure out what that plan is, because 12 times?
I know, like when you say different drugs affect people differently, I was like, we had a neighbor and he was fine. I mean, talked to him all the time, and it's like, but as soon as he started drinking, he turned into an idiot. He just go around, start smashing people's lights and starting fights. And, I was like, man, you cannot handle alcohol. It's like, it just does something to him.
Yeah, like I've had family members that said they don't smoke pot because it makes them paranoid. Well, after doing coke for so long, and it'll do the same thing with meth, you know what I mean, after a while. And I still think everything affects people differently. Some people can handle it, some people can't. I mean, I wasn't ever a good pot smoker either. I had to stay home. I had to eat it was like smoking pot for the first time all over again. I have to eat my way through the kitchen and go to bed.
You're saying you're back in 2016, and this is, you said you lost the house, you got it.
That was in 2008.
And that was your neck surgery?
2012.
2012?
Yeah, but the pain pills, they had me on pain pills from 2012 to 2019.
Wow.
I mean, not steady, but there was probably a good 5 years. I moved down here in 2018. So, I mean, there was and even when I moved down here and went to pain management, back on pain pills.
Seems like an easy solution. Here's some pills and get out the door.
Oh no, because when you go from one pain management to a different pain management, they start you all over like you're brand new, even though you know what works for you. Because the stuff they tried me on down here, nasty headaches, didn't work, and then I told you last time I'm taking still my vitamin patch. I found these great vitamins called Thrive, and I was able to get off the pain pills.
Good deal. So you're done with the pain pills? You feeling?
Done with everything.
Yeah. Was that like a personal choice? Like I just want to get off of them, or is it something that the doctor?
I found from taking the vitamins that I didn't need them as much. Like these vitamins help with everything.
That's a blessing, because that's usually a gateway into heroin, and like a lot of people can't kick those pain pills. And
I've never even seen heroin.
That's a good thing.
But I've had two nephews.
Yeah.
Now they say, like I've talked about this with Jonathan too.
Yeah.
About the addiction gene. Like my ex-husband never thought that addiction was a disease. He said they're only saying that so the medical insurance will cover like rehab.
Yeah. I got you.
I mean, we got four biological kids in the family. 3 of us have been to rehab.
Wow.
I have 2 biological kids. The other 3 each only have 1. Out of those 5 kids, 2 of them have had addiction issues. The other 3 haven't.
You think it's like, you said,
I think
you believe it's a gene?
Yes, I do.
Could there be like an element of like kids always see how their parents deal with issues?
My kids didn't see me doing drugs. I wasn't sitting there at the dining room table doing it with.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's
they
like,
know the behavior after the fact. I think.
Yeah, I think
when they're older, like mom's not acting right.
They know there's something
absolutely.
sneaky going on, because I grew up around the weed culture and all that, and it's always like, especially the parents that are trying to hide it from the kids. It's like, oh, you go to your room, and you disappear down the basement, and the smell comes up. And, it's like they know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
if they don't know, they know something's
They'll
going
know the
on.
behavior.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
So,
100%. Yeah.
They know you're down there doing something, and they're not involved in it, and they don't.
I said to Chloe, I said, you should do talks with him. She's like, what about?
For
I'm
what?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
just crazy. Yeah. So then again in 2021, I relapsed one last time. That was the worst one.
What do you mean by the worst one?
That took my soul. Took my soul. Took my soul.
Elaborate on that.
I was bitter because my boyfriend passed away in December 2020, and I was just like, I'll say it, I was mad at God.
Yeah.
Like, why would it? We were dating for a year. It was a long distance deal here to Florida. So every other month I'd go down there for the first year. Then this going into the second year, he got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So then it was 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here, back and forth until he passed. But I was bitter. I was like god awful. Like I was mad at God, like beyond, real mad.
Did you feel like you had a relationship with God to actually be mad at him, or was it just not really mad at God, but just don't really think that there was any goodness?
I had a relationship, but not a personal relationship. Like I was always a believer, but I didn't have a personal relationship like I do now. Like I've showed you the signs I've seen.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a personal relationship. And I mean, I understand, like somebody said, well, I don't have to go to church to believe in God. No, you don't, but if I didn't come to church every Sunday, I mean, I get something new out of it every week. Every week. Like 1 week, all the songs the worship team sang, they're all on my playlist. I'm like, yes. You know what I mean? And it's not like I said, oh, hey Mandy, can you guys sing this? It was a week when Mandy wasn't here. But all the songs were like that I got on my playlist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, they got I lost my train of thought for a minute. That happens to me all the time.
About having a personal or having a relationship with God, like you said. Did you even have a relationship with him to be mad? Yeah,
because it's, it's almost like, I mean, were you like prompted to start seeking after God? Because like after the loss,
Well, I was beforehand. Like I was filling my head, like my mom growing up, garbage in, garbage out. What you put in is what you're going to get out. You know what I mean? Like what you're filling your mind with, and even your body, what you're eating. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're following bad stuff, you're doing bad stuff, you're going to get bad results.
Your eyes weren't on God. It was just kind of.
No, I was seeking, like Steve said, oh, I'm worried about you after I pass. I'm like, I got this. I was all strong through the chemo and, was there holding his hand when he passed away at the hospice center. I had it. I was good. But same thing happened when my dad passed. Like a couple months after he passed, I just deep depression hit.
To kind of feel that emptiness and.
Yeah, and you know what? I won't even jump because I did that last time. But a couple months after he passed, I was like, I was empty, lonely, just mad, sad, depressed. Started using. Yeah. And this time it wasn't cocaine, it was meth. Yeah. And the effects of that takes so long to leave your body. So long. Like the mind games that plays with you. And I told you I was hearing things, hearing voices all the time. Yeah. That one just, it took my soul. It really did.
And how long were you using that?
Probably about a year. I wasn't using it like I was in previous years with the cocaine. It wasn't an everyday deal. It was like a weekend thing. Sometimes a little more than less, but with me, one line of that is too much. I mean, seriously, because the hearing things, hearing the voices and stuff, that would last for days.
Does that happen when you're coming off of it or when you're on it?
It was weird. It wasn't until I would go to bed at night I'd start hearing chitter chatter. I mean, my brother and Chloe thought the house was haunted anyway. They
Yeah.
think the house is haunted because, like, Chloe would hear, and I know she wasn't doing anything. You know, it's weird. I mean, my brother was here on vacation after his girlfriend died, and the next day he said, "I saw Renee last night." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I saw her standing in the living room upstairs. I felt her laying next to me in the bed." Maybe he did. I don't know. But I just know me and, yeah, I'm like done with everything, and I don't know.
I know Amanda told me a story when she was a little kid. She's like, I woke up and she's like, little girl laying in bed, and she like wakes up and she like just felt this like dark presence like right over the bed.
Dark?
Yeah, and it was like, wasn't a good thing, but she just felt like it, and she got scared, ran into her mom's room, and she's like, someone's in the room with me, and her mom's just like, you know what to do. Okay, and went back. Said it left.
Yeah.
But,
No, they say sometimes that, like, I don't know. I told you the whole medium
Yeah.
thing, but it's weird because, like, I listen. Not that I'm not to this medium, but I did have it. You know, I listen sometimes
Yeah.
and follow. I don't follow a lot, but if I see them pop up, I will watch the live or whatever. But they say, like my niece, my brother that passed away was her dad. So they had been staying with us for a little bit, but her and her husband got back together. They're in Florida. And after my brother died, the youngest one said, "Mommy, like, he's at the front door with his hands up." And he's like, "Pop, Pop, Pop, Pop." And she's like, what are you saying?" "Oh, Pop, Pop's there." And she said even her other son, Bryce, when he was little, that he kind of did the same thing, that she didn't know who it was visiting, but some kind of spirit, like that she thought maybe a grandparent or
Yeah.
something. But they say spirits will visit children. Like, children are more susceptible to seeing spirits. Like, not in a bad thing. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. Don't know. Don't want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I know there's good ones and bad ones, but I don't believe in the bad ones. My brother had an ex-girlfriend that was into that ghost hunting thing, like
Yeah.
going to abandoned places and stuff. And she was somewhere and felt one attached to her and had to tell him, "You need to stay here," kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're off
Touching
track
that one.
again.
That's all right. But so let's go back to you're using the meth.
Yeah.
About a year in, and
Yeah.
at what point do you feel like it's got a grip on you?
That didn't get a grip on me to where I was going out and looking for it or anything like that. That didn't get a grip on me. It was there, and I was partaking with
Yeah.
the
You're starting to see
others.
like the side effects of it, and
Oh, the side effects were
Yeah.
like immediately. I'm like, or no, it wasn't immediately. It was probably like a couple months in, and then I'm like hearing things. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be good.
it's probably the meth.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said, the effects of that last a while.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it took a good while for me to stop hearing chitter chatter.
About how long since you stopped that you stopped hearing that as much?
No, I stopped back in October, but it had been weaned off, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was just a only once in a blue moon deal for some months. It wasn't a weekend deal or a one-a-day deal.
So if I remember correctly, said your brother was ill and he came down to stay with you. Was it?
No, he'd been here.
Okay.
He moved here.
So you moved in to help him.
No,
No?
we bought a house back in 2017, but my dad was sick,
Okay.
and we didn't get down here till March of 2018, and my dad passed 6 weeks after we got here. But he was a Mountain Grove born and raised boy.
Gotcha.
He left when he was 18. But we did get him back down here, and we did get him buried out in the cemetery in Ben Davis next to our grandparents, so.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not good that your dad died, but.
Well, no, but I mean, we're all gonna someday.
Yep.
It's just how you deal with it, and I'm telling you, ever since I started coming here, I know God was preparing me for my brother's death. I know he was. I know he was, because this time there wasn't a relapse. This time there was understanding that more life on life's terms and just seeing God through the whole thing. Yeah.
It's understandable. There's a peace that comes with that. You know, like after my dad passed, it was just a peace about it. You know, it's not, you know, like you feel like
Yeah.
you're missing.
See-
Like, I mean, of course you miss a person, you miss, you know, the essence of them and everything, but there's a peace that God just gives you that's.
I wish I would have stayed in that peace when Steve passed, because he's like, I need you there to hold my hand when I pass. And I'm like, absolutely. And like I had said a few minutes ago, like he said, I'm concerned about your future happiness. For someone knowing that they're dying and they're worried about somebody else's happiness, like I wish I would have stayed in that peaceful spot. But I got bitter and depressed, and this time, I showed you the cloud of my brother, but before that, yeah, I'm a cloud watcher,
Yeah.
and I saw something in the clouds. You might call me crazy, but I saw something in the clouds, and it was something only Steve and I knew about. So I giggled about it, and I said, "Hey, have you met my dad yet?" No lie. 5 minutes later, I see a profile of a man, looked like he was laying on a couch, and at the foot of the couch was the dog. That's how my dad always was, on his couch, head down this end. It was like one of them chase couches, and the dog was always, his dog Lucy was always at the foot of the couch. Well, I take a picture, I show my brother, I said, "What's that look like?" He goes, "Looks like somebody's profile of a face." I said, "Look at the other side." He goes, "The dog." I said, "Dude, I'm telling you, that's Daddy." So we used to joke about Dad on the cloud couch. So when my brother was in the hospital, his daughter flew up from Florida, and we, you know, just sitting there holding his hands and stuff, and I was sitting there looking out the window, and I'm like, "Samantha, come here and look at this cloud." I said, "Looks like Grandpa on the cloud." And I said, "Yo, bud, Daddy's here to pick you up on that couch cloud." Within a couple minutes he had passed, but it was peaceful. I mean, I was there, his daughter was there. He made his choices on his medical care before hospice took over. Like, he didn't want his daughter or myself having to make those choices for him. Like, who wants to be the one to say, I'm going to say, and it doesn't sound nice, pull the plug.
Right.
But he said he didn't want to be resuscitated, and he made his choices.
There was peace.
It was, I could not have timed his passing any better than it was, because, I mean, it was peaceful. It was peaceful.
That gives everybody that witnesses it a little peace too, you know, just knowing that
Yeah.
he's okay.
Yeah, because like his daughter said, like if she would have been in Florida, like I was trying, like update her, she was getting updated through the doctors every day, the nurses, and then she came up and saw his condition and everything, and was okay then with him, do not resuscitate and all that. But yeah, it was a peaceful passing. It was peaceful.
And you were talking about the cloud stuff. And
Yeah, I'm big into the clouds.
Well, that's one thing, because I hear people say that all the time, like, "Oh, I saw that in the clouds, I saw that in the clouds," but I want to put the pictures that you sent
Yeah.
up, because that is eerily,
Well,
Yeah.
up at camp, up at youth camp,
yeah,
I don't know if I showed you that.
the lion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then well, This one's got a lion too.
Yeah.
Somewhere. No, this one doesn't.
Camp logos or...
The lion on, the pink one I had on last time has the Youth Alive on it, and it's a lion, and I didn't get it till like 2 days later, like with that heart picture. It was like 2 days later. But I'm like, wow, well, what kind of sign that is? Preach the word. But anyway, you know, we're just taking it one day at a time and just for today and all that good stuff. But yeah, it like, I had to ask Chloe, I'm like, when do we start going to church? She's like, I started in August and you started September. And I'm like, yeah. It was just weird how everything fell into place because I started doing things outside of church with Carolyn. And then I started doing the Wednesday nights with Mandy, coming and cooking and helping out.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. I love doing it. You know, when we don't have it, it's like, I did a project yesterday, so that kept me busy at the house. But yeah, I don't know. It just, I've had this conversation with Teresa. It's like, if somebody's looking for a church that's local, just come here and listen. Like, listen. Like, I don't know, all those Sundays I sat over there crying, just like, I thank God, like, this is the first church I started at because there's no church shopping involved. Like, I felt at home here.
One and done.
Yeah, like this, I don't know, there's just like, if you're going through something, if you're struggling, like, this is the place to be. Even if you're not struggling, just come and check the church out. I mean,
my thing is I'm not like real big on like just promoting certain churches, but
yeah.
it's and that, like, God dealt with me on that. But the thing that I love about just being here is it's not about anything other than just let's receive.
Yeah,
and that's,
absolutely.
And give.
Yeah, yeah. Come and praise God.
Yep, and that's one thing. Like, you know, like all the, like, I've gone to a few churches over my lifetime, and the, like, programs that happen, like, you know, say you got Easter, you know, it's like there's all kinds of things that are going on Easter. It's like, you know, we're small enough, we're not tiny, but we're small enough to where it's like right now it's just whatever you want to do on Easter. If you want to dye Easter eggs and hunt them and what, go ahead, you know. But like when we come to church,
Yeah.
it's worship, it's the word,
Yeah.
and then you go do whatever you have to do.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, and that's so needed, I think, at least for me.
I think sometimes if you keep things simple enough, it'll fill you up.
Oh yeah.
More than all this other, like you're saying, the eggs, the this, the that, the Easter Vigil, like that's how it was with the Catholic Church. But
there used to be all kinds of like heritage things that would drive me insane because like I would go to a church and, you know, you pack up the kids, you get, you know, you go through all arguments and stuff, get in the car, drive out there, and it's like, this is brother so-and-so, he's been, you know, a member of this church for, you know, 80 years, let's all, you know, give him homage, you know, and it's just this whole cycle of, you know, these are the people that have like built the foundations of the church and all, you know, it's like, it's like, yay, but you know, I kind of came for something else, you know. But now that's what I love about, you know, at least Pastor Darren, is that he keeps it pretty straightforward, you know. We're here.
he's a godsend.
Oh man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, he keeps it simple, and he's not going to tell you, you know what I mean?
It's not about what he says. It's about,
No,
you know, it's
and
like,
he's, what's the Lord telling you to do?
Yep.
And yeah, like, pay attention to those things.
Yep.
But even when he's up there, like, Lord, I give it all to you, you know what? You just sit in your seat and say that, and it's like, I don't know. This is a different church. It really is. I mean, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I mean, even for me to come here and clean the church once a week is like, you know what I mean?
Just get time alone.
I felt like I won the lottery. Seriously.
How many people say that though?
Right?
Cleaning the church is like winning the lottery.
Yeah. The pastor says, really, you want to clean the church? I'll help out. I got time.
Yeah.
You know, if I break it up in 2 days. But now I got Janelle. You know, because
Janelle's helping you out. Yeah.
Janelle does the vacuuming.
Awesome.
Yeah, upstairs, downstairs. Yes, that was a godsend. And I don't ask anybody for help, but
I know you got some back problems. And,
I got back problems, and yeah.
Lugging a vacuum cleaner up and down probably hurts.
Yeah, I didn't come to church on a Sunday, and Miss Carolyn come out to my house and check on me because my back was bothering me, so I didn't come, and I don't like missing church. But I said to her, I need help, and boom, Friday, I had Janelle. So it's a godsend. And yeah, for me to ask somebody for help, just to like say, hey, I can't do it. If I ask you for help, it's because I'm desperate. I've tried everything else. But yeah, it was easy for me to ask. Just, I let Carolyn know, hey, I need help. I can't, I could break it up between 2 days. It'll be all right. But if you can get someone to help me, it'd be a blessing. Boom. Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you right, basically, like you had, like the meth was kind of the last thing that you went through, and then
yeah, that was, I can't no more.
And that kind of just led to a realization that something had to change in your life. Church. Just started coming to
Thank
church.
You, Jesus.
And it was out of odd circumstances. Your daughter was dating somebody that was here, and she was coming here, and you just tagged along. And
we're here, and he's not.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart. But he says he's good. He says he's good because she's reached out to him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
It's crazy the things that bring us in.
Wonderful place.
So, and through the whole process of just rediscovering who Jesus is and all that, you just kind of...
Yeah, like I said, keep it simple. Mom said garbage in, garbage out, so now I'm just Christian music all day long, worship music all day from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. And I'm starting some Bible study, too.
All right.
Last time you said, you read the Bible?
Man, we're all...
I think I scared you when I told you about the evidential medium business.
Nah, you didn't scare you. It was just like that's something that like I was kind of trying to process myself because like and that's the only way I know. I'm sure there's people that have studied the Bible and like gotten into it that could probably explain it better. But the way I understood it was just like you have a channel, just like a radio. Like there's all kinds of stuff out there, and if you tune in to God, that's what you're going to hear. And then everything else is it's not God.
Yeah.
That's it, but and that's kind of tricky too because the devil's a deceiver as well, so he can make you think that you're hearing something
like I could rattle off the songs. Oh my God, I got to share my playlist with you. You're probably like, I know all these songs already, but yeah, no. But if you start like even if
what is your favorite what's your go-to worship song?
I don't have a favorite one because there are
top 3, top 5.
All Joy No Stress.
Okay, I haven't heard that one. Really?
Oh, are you serious?
I think I am.
Wow.
I may have heard it, like I just don't know the title, but
I got a whole list of them.
I'm usually pretty decent with remembering titles, but
My Recovery is a big one. I got them all written down on a piece of paper. I got them all on my phone too. Yeah, I'm always throwing one. The one that Gavin sang last time, Scars. Yeah. That's a good one too. Yeah.
I'm glad he did that one. I know it's kind of it's always kind of a battle, like with the worship thing, like because the idea is to, glorify God, and some songs are like really good, like just as a personal, message to yourself, but like a corporate setting, it doesn't really work out. And Scars kind of felt like one of those, but God used it.
Overcomer's another good one. Overcomer, yeah. There's so many of them.
That When Darkness Fades, that no,
it's the girl.
I'm trying to think of the tune of that.
Yeah. There's so many of them. Oh, I might draw on a blank right now. Well, heck.
I draw blanks all the time.
I didn't write them down.
Threw you a curveball.
No.
You got a favorite scripture?
Matthew 7:7.
That's an easy one to remember. I don't know what it says.
Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. Yeah.
Why does that mean something to you?
That was March 26, 2008 when I went to rehab. That was the daily devotional for the day. And it's just so simple. And it's like, like I thought I had God in my life and I know he was there. And I know he was there because, so many times things could have went wrong. Using and not using, but like you see God's hand in things later, like, oh yeah, by the grace of God, I didn't get in any kind of, like I was never in trouble with the law with my using ever.
Got away
Like,
with it.
Yeah, like I told you, sliding under the radar.
Yeah.
But the personal relationship that I have now, like all that bad stuff I went through and using and losing the house and all that, it probably sounds stupid to say I'd go through that all again to have that personal relationship that I do with the Lord right now, because it's unbelievable. Like, there's some days, and I haven't had a good church cry in a while, but there's some days I'm just so overwhelmed.
Because I saw you last Sunday, you were wiping tears, so don't say that.
I probably was, because Pastor's dad, and Pastor reading that message. Yeah, that message from his son, thanking him for raising him in a house with Jesus. Like, I didn't have that. I had to get baptized on my own when I was 30. Like, we weren't raised in church. We weren't. And my kids, when they were little doing the CCD thing, it was a short span. Like,
what's CCD?
It's Catholic stuff.
Okay.
Communion, confirmation, like getting them ready to make the first Holy Communion and then the confirmation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm looking forward to Pastor baptizing me and my brother in the river, Chloe too. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I wouldn't trade any of that for that personal. Like, I'd go through all that crap again to have the personal relationship that I do right now with the Lord, because like I know He's there every day. He's showing me something different. I'm hearing Him, not just me. Like, I'm more grateful for everything that I have in my life now. Like, constantly thanking God, looking to God. Yesterday, me and Chloe putting a headboard on a wall. Every screw I put into that wall, I mean, I got the leveler, I got the stud finder, I marked everything, but before I screwed that drill into the wall, I asked God for the strength to do it, because who wants to be stripping out now, the screw heads? But like, I asked God for guidance, help, everything I do. I'm asking the Lord and thanking Him. Like before, it was like, just asking, not praising, not giving the thanks back.
I'm hearing this over and over. Like, this is crazy, because all this week, like even Gavin was saying, he was talking about that song Gyra, because I was asking him kind of the same question, like, what's your favorite, worship song? And he said, there's a line in Gyra where he says, I never want to forget where I am or how I feel right now. Mm-hmm. And today I was listening, Amanda sent out something for the worship team. But as Pastor talking about how we often forget, what God has, brought us through, because he said, he's one of these mega church pastors, and he's like, I was walking through and I was complaining because the bathrooms are dirty, and like, how many people just leave all this stuff? And he's like, God just stopped me in my tracks and said, remember when, you would have lobby, your lobby would be like a hallway, and you only had one bathroom in the back of the church, and like now you're complaining about the blessings I've given you and what you prayed for, and and I'm just hearing that over and over about the just forgetting what God has done for you. And like when you say, like, I'd go through it all again just to be in that relationship. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Is like, I just don't want to forget that point where, it's like I just gave it all to you, and man, as life goes on, sometimes we forget about that, and it's tough. It's tough to remind yourself. I mean, look at what Israel went through, just constantly forgetting, like, all, the waters parting, all these miracles, like following the cloud and pillar of fire, and like all these things that God did, and just, where are you, God? You're not with us anymore.
It's grateful now. It's just like grateful for everything. Like, I mean, that one Friday I don't know if it was the last time we were trying to do the talks, but then it was the fair.
Yep.
The girls asked me to go to fair. I'm like, cool, let me just run home, take dogs out. Like, like now, because I say I don't have friends. I don't have friends here. I have family here. Yeah. But some are close, some are spread out. But just, and the church is a family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I hang with Teresa. I do, you know, Carolyn, and Mandy.
Teresa can't ride any of the rides, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't ride rides. We was over there for the food. We was there for the food.
Another short joke on
And the
Teresa.
company.
Yeah. Saying she's not tall enough. But anyway.
But yeah, like I wouldn't give this up for nothing. Like nothing. Not a thing. And what's even better, my brother's looking forward to getting baptized in the river.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he likes Pastor Darren. He got to meet him when our other brother passed, so he's like, I like him. I'm like, yeah, he's a good guy. So I'm just hoping.
When's he coming down?
July.
July?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. A couple more weeks, yeah. It's going to be vacation time soon. Everybody's going to be here. Not everybody, but this when family starts coming. It's when the fun begins.
It's cool. You want to wrap it up? Or?
Wrap it up,
No, actually, let me delve on this one for a minute because this just popped into my head. But ministries, because I know you were talking to Jonathan about maybe getting into some sort of. Do you feel like your calling or what God is calling you for? And I know you're still kind of processing it, but is rehabilitation or?
I don't know because like, and I talked about it last time real briefly. Like Andrew Hagar's got the Blameless Children thing, like recovery for the kids of the addicts.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Jonathan about not a halfway house, but after, you know what I mean? Because there's nothing halfway about the program they have over there. I don't know. Like I told my niece, if nobody's coming to live with me, I have people there, but you know what I mean? There's space available to help.
Waiting to hear from God.
Exactly. Waiting to figure it out.
Yep.
You know, there's no rush. Just waiting on
But you know you got a ministry stirring somewhere in there.
something, just, you know. And it was weird because when I started on the Wednesday night group, I'm like, teenagers ain't my best thing. Infants, you know, toddlers, and elderly people. I'm like, I don't know about the teenagers, but I love the group. It's great. I mean, even going to camp with them. It's fun.
That actually turned me around a little bit because I could look at kids like they're just things you have to clean up after. They don't like listen. They're just kind of, you know, I don't know, I guess burdensome, which is a bad way to put it, but it's like that's kind of my mindset. Like, oh, you're gonna have to, you know, deal with kids. You know, it's like that's kind of my mindset. It's like, all right, great. They're just gonna run off. They're gonna mouth you. They're gonna do all this stuff. I went to camp, you know, and it's like you just see their hearts, you know. It's like
Camp was great.
It was awesome.
Like camp was. Everybody should experience youth camp. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're a young, old parent, not a parent.
Yep.
What they do with the kids up there, I mean, from sunrise to midnight is...
They wear them down.
Well, not really wear them down. Fill them up and wear them down.
Yeah.
I mean, from worship, and I mean, your day starts early, but it's full. It's full, and it's good. You know,
Yeah.
and the whole, everything up there, the setting, the chapel, by the lake.
What got me is like, I don't know if I told you that, was like driving back just in tears because like, you know, I'm hearing all these like 14-year-old boys just in the car singing Reckless Love at the top of their lungs, you know, and it's like, oh.
No, you knew they got something out of it.
Yep.
We had some girls behind us, and I don't know if they were from Jeff City or what, but they were basically mocking the whole deal. And I'm like, I kind of turned around and gave them a stink eye, and I just prayed for them.
Yeah.
Lord, somehow touch them, let them get something out of this, you know, out of this camp week. Like,
And that's the thing too, and that's kind of like when you're dealing with youth, that's something I'm learning. It's like, you know, those are the ones you're trying to reach, you know.
Yeah,
it's like, and
absolutely.
And that's and you got to do it with love, and you got to do it, you know. There's a different approach to it other than, you know, it's like, sit down and listen to what you're being told. You know, it's like.
Yeah, you got to show them
doesn't-
some kind of light because, like Billy, you remember Billy?
Oh, yeah.
Billy was, my mom don't love me, my mom this, my mom don't like me. His mom was, from what he said, was using drugs and wasn't a part of his life. And I told him, You know, I said, Billy, that's not your fault.
Yeah.
You know, like, didn't want him to take
I just
that
heard some
burden.
Jersey come out of you there. I just heard a little bit of fault. Anyway, sorry.
I just didn't want him to feel like it was his fault or anything,
Yeah.
because it's not, you know? It's not. I don't know.
It meant the world to him, too, that, you know, Anna, like, just
Yeah, he was
said,
part
"I
of our
don't-"
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It was, those kids are amazing. Like, that's how I was, how Anna is. You see that lonely kid, like in high school,
Yeah.
people like thought I was, I don't know. Some people thought I was popular because I was a cheerleader, but I wasn't. I was the quiet, shy girl that walked through the
Yeah.
halls with her head down, and then people say, "Oh, she's a stuck-up." No, but I would be friends with the kids that didn't have friends, or just have a little group. Not, I didn't have to be part of the big to-do thing. No, sliding under the radar. But it was good to see the kids friending kids that didn't have anybody there. Like, you ended up with Cornelius in your group.
Yeah.
He was just dropped off there.
Yep.
But it was great how the boys welcomed him in and included him. And
I still talk to him now.
yeah, Pastor reached out to his family
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, we're at the halfway point. You know, he can come with us next time." It was just, it's good to see the kids where they're at. And I don't know, but I pray to God that they stay where they're at, on the path that they're on, the journey. Because I know what it's like to be on the other side of that. And I'd hate to see any of them end up there, because it's not a good place to be. It's truly not.
No, they did get a lot out of it, and I got a lot out of it as well, just observing and
Yeah.
seeing what was going on. And like I said, you get to see the hearts, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like, and that's, you know, even Anna, like, just reaching out, and, you know, some of the ones that I thought would never even, I thought they'd be the ones just kind of mocking it, and they were down on the altar just praying.
Yeah.
And, oh, man.
That was a moving
Yeah.
night. Yeah. Yeah.
That was,
That's a special place up there too.
it is.
I mean, you just walk those grounds and just, yeah. That last Saturday morning, I got up to catch the sunrise, and it was beautiful.
I love the introduction. I forgot the guy's name, but the camp leader, when he came out, he's like, "I've been praying that anything that can go wrong will go wrong," because like, basically it gives us an opportunity to see God through it, and that's true. But I guess we can end it. You got anything else you want to?
No.
I'm fizzling out. It's been a long day.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's good. Good talk.
I'll be sending you some songs.
All right. Now we'll also post the cloud pictures. So describe the cloud pictures real quick.
Oh,
and then,
yeah. Well, in 2018, when my dad passed, I was always looking for signs. You know, they say pennies from heaven, feathers,
Yeah.
cardinals. My thing was always hearts. I'd see a heart here or there. And then when Steve passed away, I was always looking for hearts. I'm like, somebody got to show me something. I got a whole jar of feathers. Feathers is another big one. But I got cardinals around my house
Yeah.
frequently. But that day, me and Chloe, we're going out somewhere, and we're at the stop sign. I'm like, oh, look at the big blue heart. So I took pictures, and didn't think nothing about it, never saw the face. Well, 2 days later, I'm on the couch. I'm like, well, let me see the picture of that heart. And I'm looking. I'm like, oh, no way. And I'm turning it sideways. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, what? I'm taking it as a sign from God. But before that, the month anniversary of my brother's passing, I had a bad day, depressed, missing him really bad. So I was doing this. I have Timmy Tuesday. I do. I do. Timmy Tuesday. I do things my brother and I did together, or things my brother did around the house, you know. It's always productive, mowing the lawn, weed whacking,
Yeah.
just doing something we did together, going to the river just to take pictures, sit for a minute, whatever. But the month of anniversary of his passing, I went out to the cemetery, and I'm sitting out there crying a little bit, but playing some music, you know, trying to get in a good spot. And I asked God, I'm like, dear Lord, please just send me some kind of sign. Let me know he's okay. couple minutes later, big yellow heart. I like to go out there for the sunsets in the fall, in the wintertime. Now it's like, it doesn't set where it does in the same spot that it does in the winter. But yeah, I saw that big yellow heart. I said, okay, I can go home now. I don't have to wait for the sun to set. I don't know.
I got my sign.
It's those little things that just keep me in check. Like any little inkling, any little sign.
So it's not boisterous or loud or anything, but it's,
No.
it's so subtle.
You
just-
have to pay attention.
Yep.
Not that you have to be like, whoa, where's that sign at, But it's like, aha.
No, I'll give it to you. He knows how to just reach your heart, where it's
His timing's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect timing.
Exactly. My sister said, like, even after my dad died, he was a big Johnny Cash fan. And she did the same thing. Like, she was like, just let me know he made it, She walks into the gas station. There's this lady in there wearing a Johnny Cash T-shirt. And he's like, I'll take it.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up then.
Wrap it
Got
up.
anything else?
No, that's it.
You're
Anybody
good.
struggling though, reach out. Reach out to somebody. Start even listen to a Christian song. There's so many good bands out there. Coming to the fair, Springfield.
Who's that?
Casting Crowns and Kane.
Good one.
Yeah. Winter Jam was great. You didn't go with us,
I
but it
didn't,
was great.
no.
Yeah. I'm a concert person. I was brought up in the mosh pit, so you know how that,
I was going to say, you were born in a mosh pit.
not my fault.
All right.
It's all good.
Well, thank you.
You are welcome.
I'll post this one soon.
Yeah, I want to see Gavin first.